Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to speak directly to a struggle many may not dare to voice aloud, the feeling of being unloved. It's a deep ache, isn't it? A whisper in your mind that says, I'm not enough or I'll never be valued. This feeling can weigh on your spirit, cloud your days, and make the future seem like a repetition of the past. But here's the truth: feeling unloved is not a life sentence. It's a call to action, a turning point where you decide to take the reins of your life and chart a new course. This is not about seeking validation from others. It's about discovering the immense reservoir of love and strength within yourself. Today, we will uncover the roots of these negative feelings, learn to rise above them, and embrace the transformative power of purpose and self-love. Because you, my friend, are far more powerful and deserving than you've ever dared to believe. Let's begin this journey together. Feeling unloved is one of the most painful emotions a person can experience. It seeps into every aspect of life, influencing how we see ourselves, how we interact with others, and even the decisions we make. To overcome this, we must first understand where it comes from. The feeling of being unloved often has roots that stretch deep into our past, shaped by experiences, relationships, and beliefs we may not even realize we carry. At its core, feeling unloved stems from a perceived lack of connection. As human beings, we are wired for connection. It's in our very DNA. From the moment we are born, we seek comfort, security, and acknowledgement. When those needs are not met consistently, whether through neglect, rejection, or miscommunication, our minds start to interpret the absence of love as a reflection of our worth. We begin to ask, am I not good enough? And sadly, over time, we start to believe that we aren't. Childhood plays a significant role in shaping this belief. Perhaps you were raised in an environment where love was conditional, where praise came only when you excelled or behaved a certain way. Maybe you longed for affection from a parent or caregiver who was emotionally unavailable. These early experiences leave imprints on the subconscious mind, creating patterns of self-doubt and insecurity that carry into adulthood. But it's not just about childhood. Life itself can bring its share of rejection and heartbreak. Relationships that fail, friendships that fade, or even societal pressures to meet unrealistic standards can all contribute to a sense of inadequacy. When we internalize these external events, we mistake temporary circumstances for permanent truths, and the narrative becomes, I am unloved because I am unlovable. The feeling is further magnified by our inner critic, the relentless voice in our heads that constantly points out our flaws and amplifies our mistakes. This voice is often shaped by those past experiences and reinforced by the comparisons we make in a world dominated by social media and curated perfection. When we compare ourselves to others, we rarely measure up in our own eyes. We see others as successful, happy, and loved, while we feel invisible, insignificant, and unworthy. But here's the paradox most of the time. These feelings don't come from the truth of who we are. They come from the stories we've told ourselves based on misinterpretations and past wounds. The absence of love from someone else does not mean you are unlovable. It simply reflects the other person's limitations, not your worth. Yet we often take this absence personally, allowing it to define how we see ourselves. It's crucial to understand that feeling unloved isn't a sign of weakness or failure. It's a signal, a powerful one, that something inside us needs attention and healing. Rather than avoiding these feelings or numbing them with distractions, we must face them with curiosity and compassion. Ask yourself, where did this belief come from? Whose voice am I hearing when I think I'm unworthy? When you start to trace the origins of these emotions, you can begin to separate fact from fiction, reality from assumption. One of the greatest truths we often overlook is that the love we seek externally must first be cultivated internally. The real root of feeling unloved is not that others don't love us, it's that we have disconnected from the love we have for ourselves. When we reconnect with our own sense of worth and wholeness, the external validation we once craved becomes less important. Understanding the root of feeling unloved is not about blaming others or dwelling on past pain. It's about recognizing the patterns and beliefs that no longer serve you and choosing to rewrite your story. It's about seeing yourself as you truly are worthy, whole, and deserving of love, not because of what you do, but simply because you exist. The journey to overcoming these feelings begins with awareness. When you shine a light on the origins of your pain, you take the first step toward freeing yourself from its grip. Only then can you move forward with the clarity and strength to embrace the love that has always been within you. Self-worth is the cornerstone of our emotional and mental well-being. It is the internal foundation upon which our confidence, resilience, and happiness are built. Without it, we can easily fall prey to negative feelings, including the sense of being unloved. Rebuilding self-worth is not just an exercise in self-esteem, it is a transformative journey that shifts how we see ourselves and how we show up in the world. At its core, self-worth is the belief that we are valuable regardless of external circumstances. It is not contingent upon our achievements, the opinions of others, or even the mistakes we make. Yet, so many of us tie our self-worth to these fleeting factors. We believe that we are only as good as our last success or as worthy as the love and approval we receive from others. When these things waver, as they inevitably do, it can leave us feeling inadequate, unworthy, and unlovable. To reclaim our self-worth, we must first recognize the misconceptions we've been conditioned to accept. Society often tells us that our value is measured by external markers: how we look, how much we earn, the roles we play, or how well we fit into a particular mold. These superficial standards create a dangerous trap. No matter how much we achieve or how hard we strive, we find ourselves chasing an ever-moving goalpost. This endless pursuit not only exhausts us, but reinforces the idea that we are never enough. True self-worth, however, is not something we need to earn. It's something we inherently possess. It is rooted in the understanding that our value comes from within, simply by virtue of being human. Think about this when you look at a newborn baby. Do you question their worth? Of course not. You recognize their inherent value without hesitation. Somewhere along the way, though, we lose this sense of innate worthiness. Life's challenges, rejections, and criticisms chip away at it, leaving us questioning our place in the world. Rebuilding self-worth requires unlearning these damaging beliefs and reconnecting with our true essence. One of the most powerful ways to do this is through self-acceptance. Accepting yourself doesn't mean settling for less or ignoring areas for growth. It means embracing all parts of who you are, including your imperfections. It's about understanding that your worth is not diminished by your flaws or failures. In fact, those very imperfections make you unique and human. Another key to strengthening self-worth is self-compassion. We often extend kindness and understanding to others, but how often do we do the same for ourselves? When you make a mistake or face rejection, pay attention to the way you speak to yourself. Is it with harsh judgment or is it with gentleness? Self-compassion allows us to treat ourselves as we would a dear friend, reminding us that we are deserving of love and patience, even in our darkest moments. Boundaries also play a crucial role in reinforcing self-worth. When you know your value, you no longer tolerate situations or relationships that diminish your sense of self. Boundaries are not about shutting people out, they're about protecting your energy and ensuring that you are treated with respect. They are a declaration of your worth and a way to honor yourself. Gratitude can also be a transformative practice in nurturing self-worth. It shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already have, helping you see the beauty and abundance in your life. When you begin to appreciate even the smallest aspects of yourself, your kindness, your resilience, your creativity, you start to recognize just how valuable you truly are. Perhaps most importantly, self-worth grows when we let go of the need for external validation. While it's natural to seek approval from others, true fulfillment comes from within. When you no longer rely on others to define your worth, you liberate yourself from the fear of rejection and judgment. You realize that your value is not determined by anyone else's opinion, but by the unshakable belief in your own uniqueness and potential. Building self-worth is not an overnight process, it's a journey. It requires consistent effort and a willingness to confront the negative beliefs you've held for so long. But as you strengthen your self-worth, you'll notice a profound shift. You'll start to approach life with confidence, set higher standards for yourself, and attract relationships and opportunities that align with your value. The power of self-worth lies in its ability to transform not just how you see yourself, but how you experience the world. When you recognize your intrinsic value, you no longer need to chase love or approval, you become a magnet for it. Because when you truly believe you are enough, the world reflects that belief right back to you. Our thoughts are the architects of our reality. The way we think about ourselves and the world around us shapes our emotions, behaviors, and experiences. When we constantly engage in negative thought patterns, we create a mental environment that reinforces feelings of inadequacy, unworthiness, and being unloved. But the good news is that these patterns are not permanent. They can be identified, challenged, and replaced with empowering beliefs that serve our growth and well-being. Negative thought patterns often operate like a loop in our minds, repeating the same disempowering messages over and over again. They tell us things like, "I'm not good enough, I always fail," or "nobody will ever love me." These thoughts might feel true because they've been reinforced over time, but they are rarely rooted in objective reality. Instead, they are learned responses shaped by past experiences, unresolved emotions, and societal influences. The first step in reprogramming negative thought patterns is awareness. You cannot change what you are unaware of. Pay attention to the moments when you feel the sting of self-doubt or despair. What are you telling yourself in those moments? Write those thoughts down if you can, because seeing them on paper often helps you realize how harsh and unkind they truly are. For many of us, these thoughts operate so automatically that we accept them as facts without questioning their validity. Once you've identified these negative patterns, the next step is to challenge them. Ask yourself, is this thought true? Is there evidence to support it? Would I say this to a friend in a similar situation? You'll often find that these thoughts are exaggerated, distorted, or completely unfounded. For example, the thought, "I always fail," can be countered by remembering instances where you succeeded, no matter how small. This process is not about denying reality, but about reframing your perspective to see a more balanced and compassionate truth. Reprogramming your mind also involves replacing negative thoughts with positive and empowering ones. This is where affirmations can play a powerful role. Affirmations are positive statements that challenge and transform your beliefs. They act as a counterweight to the negativity you've been carrying. For instance, instead of repeating, "I'm not enough," you might say, "I am worthy of love and respect." At first, these affirmations may feel uncomfortable or even untrue, but with repetition and consistency, they begin to sink in and rewire your subconscious mind. Visualization is another effective tool for reprogramming thought patterns. The brain doesn't always distinguish between imagined experiences and real ones. By vividly imagining yourself as confident, loved, and successful, you train your mind to accept these images as possibilities. Over time, this practice helps shift your internal narrative from one of lack to one of abundance. Another key strategy is mindfulness. Negative thoughts often thrive on autopilot, sneaking into our minds without our awareness. Mindfulness helps us become present and conscious of these thoughts as they arise. When you practice mindfulness, you create a pause between the thought and your reaction to it. Instead of letting the thought spiral into a wave of negative emotions, you can observe it for what it is, a fleeting mental event, not an ultimate truth. It's also important to surround yourself with positive influences. The people, media, and environments we engage with have a profound impact on our thought patterns. If you're constantly exposed to negativity, criticism, or unrealistic comparisons, your mind will absorb those messages. Conversely, spending time with supportive individuals, reading uplifting content, and engaging in activities that inspire you can help nurture more positive mental habits. Be patient with yourself during this process. Reprogramming negative thought patterns is not about perfection, it's about progress. There will be days when those old thoughts resurface, and that's okay. What matters is that you recognize them and choose not to let them define you. Each time you challenge a negative thought, you weaken its grip and strengthen the new, empowering beliefs you're cultivating. Remember, the thoughts you think today will shape the reality you experience tomorrow. When you choose to let go of negativity and replace it with affirming and constructive beliefs, you open the door to a life of greater peace, self-love, and possibility. Your mind is an incredibly powerful tool. And you have the ability to use it to create a reality where you no longer feel unloved or unworthy. Instead, you can step into a life where you fully embrace your value and potential, knowing that you are deserving of all the love and happiness the world has to offer. Forgiveness is a profound and liberating act, yet it is often misunderstood. Many people view forgiveness as condoning hurtful behavior or forgetting the pain they have endured, but this is far from the truth. Forgiveness is not about erasing the past or letting someone off the hook. It is about freeing yourself from the burden of resentment, anger, and bitterness that keeps you tethered to pain. When it comes to overcoming feelings of being unloved, forgiveness plays a central role in reclaiming your sense of peace and self-worth. At its heart, forgiveness is an act of self-care. Holding on to anger or hurt may feel justified in the moment, but over time, it takes a toll on your emotional and physical well-being. Resentment acts like a poison, affecting your ability to trust, connect, and move forward. It keeps the wound open, making it difficult to heal and find love within yourself or from others. By choosing to forgive, you are choosing to prioritize your healing over the weight of the pain that holds you back. Forgiveness often begins with understanding. People hurt others for many reasons, sometimes out of ignorance, fear, or their own unresolved wounds. This does not excuse their actions, but it provides context that can help you release the personal blame you may have internalized. Recognizing that the hurt someone caused you says more about their limitations than your worth can be an empowering realization. It reminds you that their inability to love or treat you with kindness does not define your value. In the context of feeling unloved, forgiveness frequently involves letting go of past relationships, experiences, or situations that made you feel rejected or insignificant. These moments may have left deep scars, convincing you that you are unworthy of love or connection. But holding on to the pain of those experiences only prolongs their influence over your life. Forgiving those who hurt you allows you to reclaim the power they once held and reframe your narrative from one of victimhood to one of resilience. Equally important, if not more so, is the act of forgiving yourself. For many, feelings of being unloved are accompanied by a harsh inner critic that blames them for the pain they've experienced. Thoughts like, I should have been better, or it's my fault, they didn't love me, can create a cycle of self-condemnation that is difficult to escape. Forgiving yourself means acknowledging that you are human, that you've made mistakes, and that you deserve compassion just as much as anyone else. Self-forgiveness is a journey of accepting that your past does not define your future. Perhaps you made choices that contributed to difficult circumstances, or you stayed in relationships that did not serve you. While it's important to learn from these experiences, it's equally vital to release the shame and guilt associated with them. Carrying this emotional weight does nothing to change the past. It only hinders your ability to grow and embrace a brighter future. Forgiveness is not a one-time event. It's a process that requires patience and practice. The deeper the hurt, the more time it may take to fully let go. And that's okay. Forgiveness does not mean you won't occasionally feel the sting of the pain or remember the hurtful words or actions. It means that over time, those memories lose their power to control you. They become part of your story, but not the defining chapter. Practical steps toward forgiveness include reflecting on the benefits it can bring to your life. Imagine the freedom of no longer carrying the weight of anger and resentment. Visualize yourself letting go of the chains that tie you to the past. Journaling can also be a powerful tool, allowing you to express and process your emotions in a safe space. Writing a letter to the person you need to forgive, whether you send it or not, can help you articulate your feelings and release the pain. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, adapt to challenges, and grow stronger in the face of life's difficulties. For anyone who has ever felt unloved or unworthy, building resilience is not just important, it's transformative. It provides the emotional and mental strength to rise above pain, regain your confidence, and find a renewed sense of purpose. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate resilience is through self-care. Self-care is often misunderstood as a luxury or an indulgence, but in reality, it is a necessity. It is the foundation of emotional, physical, and mental well-being. When you take the time to care for yourself, you are telling yourself that you matter, that your needs are valid, and that you are deserving of love, especially your own. For those struggling with feelings of being unloved, self-care is a way to rebuild that connection with yourself and lay the groundwork for a more resilient spirit. At its core, self-care begins with listening to your needs. Many people who feel unloved have spent years neglecting their own well-being, often prioritizing others' needs over their own, or suppressing their emotions to avoid conflict or rejection. Over time, this neglect erodes self-esteem and leaves you feeling depleted. Building resilience through self-care means reversing this pattern and learning to honor your feelings, respect your limits, and nurture your soul. Physical self-care is a crucial starting point. Our bodies and minds are deeply interconnected, and neglecting one inevitably affects the other. Simple acts like getting enough sleep, eating nourishing foods, and engaging in regular physical activity can have a profound impact on your mood and energy levels. Exercise, in particular, is a powerful tool for resilience. It releases endorphins, reduces stress, and boosts confidence. Even a short walk in nature can help ground you and provide clarity during challenging times. Emotional self-care is equally important. It involves creating space to process your feelings without judgment. Too often we suppress emotions like sadness, anger, or frustration because we see them as weaknesses. But these feelings are natural responses to life's ups and downs, and acknowledging them is a vital part of healing. Journaling, for example, can be a safe and constructive way to express your emotions. Writing down your thoughts allows you to gain perspective, release pent-up energy, and uncover patterns that may be holding you back. Setting boundaries is another essential aspect of self-care that fosters resilience. When you establish boundaries, you protect your time, energy, and emotional well-being. This is particularly important for those who have felt unloved, as they may have a tendency to overextend themselves in an effort to gain approval or avoid conflict. Learning to say no when necessary and recognizing that doing so does not make you selfish or unworthy is an act of self-respect. Spiritual self-care, whatever that means for you, can also be a powerful source of resilience. It might involve meditation, prayer, or simply spending time in silence to connect with your inner self. Practices like mindfulness and gratitude can help shift your focus from what you lack to what you have, fostering a sense of inner peace and stability. They remind you that even in difficult times, there is beauty and meaning to be found. Engaging in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment is another way to build resilience. These could be hobbies, creative pursuits, or spending time with loved ones who uplift and support you. Joy is a powerful antidote to feelings of inadequacy and despair. It reminds you of life's richness and your capacity to experience happiness. One of the most profound aspects of self-care is that it helps you build a stronger relationship with yourself. It allows you to become your own advocate, cheerleader, and source of comfort. When you consistently show up for yourself, you begin to trust in your ability to handle life's challenges. This trust is the essence of resilience. Building resilience through self-care is not about eliminating pain or hardship from your life. It's about equipping yourself to navigate those challenges with strength and grace. It's about creating a solid foundation of self-love and self-respect that remains steady, even when external circumstances are difficult. Every act of self-care, no matter how small, is a step toward reclaiming your power and reminding yourself that you are deserving of love and kindness. It's a declaration that you are not defined by past hurts or feelings of being unloved, but by the strength and compassion you cultivate within yourself. Through self-care, you build not just resilience, but a life that is rich with meaning, connection, and the confidence that you can overcome anything. Purpose is a profound force that can reshape the way we view ourselves, our experiences, and the world around us. It provides meaning, direction, and a sense of fulfillment that transcends the pain of the past and the uncertainty of the future. For those who have struggled with feelings of being unloved, discovering and embracing a sense of purpose can be transformative. It shifts the focus from what is missing in life to what can be created, nurtured, and shared. At its core, purpose is about finding something larger than yourself to commit to, whether that's a cause, a passion, or a personal mission. It's about identifying what brings you joy, what resonates with your values, and what makes you feel alive. When you connect with your purpose, you begin to see yourself as part of something greater, which helps to counteract feelings of isolation and insignificance. Purpose gives you a reason to rise each day, even when life feels heavy or challenging. One of the most powerful aspects of purpose is that it reframes pain and hardship as part of a larger story. Many people who feel unloved carry wounds that have shaped their self-perception and outlook on life. But when you find purpose, you begin to see those experiences not as defining limitations, but as opportunities for growth and contribution. Your struggles become a source of strength and empathy, enabling you to connect with others and make a meaningful impact. Purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It can be deeply personal and intimate. It might involve being a supportive friend, creating art that inspires, caring for animals, or helping others who are facing similar challenges. Sometimes the very act of giving back to others becomes a powerful way to heal yourself. When you focus on contributing to the well-being of others, you shift from dwelling on your own pain to becoming a source of positivity and light. Discovering your purpose often begins with introspection. Ask yourself, what excites me? What do I care deeply about? What skills or talents do I have that could benefit others? Reflecting on these questions can help you uncover what truly matters to you. Purpose is not something that is handed to you. It is something you cultivate through exploration, curiosity, and action. Even small steps toward discovering your purpose, such as volunteering, trying new activities, or pursuing a passion, can lead to profound realizations. Living with purpose also fosters resilience. When you have a clear sense of direction and meaning, you are better equipped to navigate life's challenges. Purpose acts as a guiding light, helping you stay grounded during difficult times. It provides motivation and focus, reminding you that your life has value and that you have something unique to contribute to the world. Moreover, purpose aligns you with a sense of identity that is not reliant on external validation. For those who have felt unloved, this is a crucial shift. Instead of seeking worth through the approval or affection of others, purpose allows you to derive fulfillment from within. It reinforces the idea that your value comes from what you create, share, and contribute, not from how others perceive you. Pursuing purpose also brings clarity and focus to your life. It helps you prioritize what truly matters and let go of distractions or negative influences that do not serve your greater mission. When you are aligned with your purpose, you become more intentional in your choices, more resilient in the face of setbacks, and more attuned to opportunities that support your growth. The beauty of purpose is that it evolves.